This is The Ramsey Show. You can be intentional about your character. You can have money and a career. You are the hero in your story. Live from the headquarters of Ramsey Solutions, it's The Ramsey Show, where debt is dumb, cash is king, and the paid-off home mortgage has taken the place of the BMW as the status symbol of choice. I'm Dave Ramsey, your host. Dr. John Deloney, Ramsey personality, best-selling author, launching his brand new book today, Own Your Past, Change Your Future. It's book launch day at Ramsey. We're a little jacked up around here, to say the least. Open phones again, 888-825-5225. You can call in. We help people build wealth. We help them do work that they love. And we help you create amazing relationships and mental wellness. Thanks for being with us. Any questions around any of it, we're here to help you. The phone number, 888-825-5225. John, the book is out in the wild.
It is out in the wild.
How's it feel?
It's good. It's good to be able to see the people starting to get the audiobook or the writing me back chapter by chapter. I loved it. It was good. So it's been a good day. It's been
good.
Fun.
Good. Yeah, it's fun. You've been doing a ton of media today, of course.
You were here with me before God himself was awake.
Before the sun got up.
Yeah. That's right.
Yeah, we were doing stuff early, and it's good. It's good. A lot of media attention because a lot of folks out there. It's a word I picked up from Craig Groeschel's podcast this week. The last 2 years have depleted people.
Yep.
And they need to be replenished.
Love it.
This is a phrase he's using, and I like that. The thing we didn't see coming was we held our breath and gritted our teeth and pushed through all the stress around the pandemic, all the different things that came at you regarding that, whether it was medical stress, financial stress, career stress, all of it came at you, real estate stress. Now you got inflation. Yeah. Now you got everything else, and your tank's empty.
That's right. So if you think of life like we talk about on the show, you've got to have an emergency fund. You got to have some money set aside so when things get bonkers. In the last 2 years, we gritted our teeth and burned through all of our margin, and then the world went bananas right when we were coming out of this thing, right? Inflation went crazy, the war kicks off, and then people are acting the fool. So, you just look around and everybody's spent, man.
Yeah. And it's a different, sometimes they're translating that to I'm burnt out on my marriage, and they weren't. They're just burnt out.
I talked to a teacher yesterday on my show saying, I love teaching, I love the kids, I love art. I think I'm done with this job, though. And as I dug into it, no, man.
She was just depleted.
She's just exhausted.
Yeah, you got to pour something back into the tank now. Fill back up.
Yeah.
And game on again.
That's right.
But you got to be fill up. You can't be game on without being filled back up. And that's one of the things this book is going to do so beautifully for a lot of you. It had that effect on me when I read it because I'm like anybody else. Our adrenaline glands.
You ran hard, man.
Man, I've been going. This 2 years has been wide freaking open.
Yeah.
And I had 1,000 people that were depending on us to keep revenue coming in here to keep payroll so they could keep their jobs. So we had to, you're spent from doing that. And actually, Craig and I were talking about this. We're friends, and then he goes and puts this on his leadership podcast, and it just really resonated with me. I sent his podcast out to all our leaders because it's just. But Own Your Past, Change Your Future is one of the ways to put fuel back in your tank. A not so complicated approach to relationships, mental health, wellness. Some of the things you've been feeling where you thought you were like, I'm really not right. Well, you probably aren't. Yeah. But that's okay. Actually, that feeling means you are right. Yeah. Because you should be having anxiety. It's an alarm bell.
Yeah. And I had a conversation with a mental health practitioner who's much more accomplished and is brilliant. And we both got to talking. And you know what, Dave? And I'm speaking as a member of this community. The last 100 years, the mental health community has convinced us that all of our problems are quote unquote in our head. And if we can just think the right thought, then we can figure it out and then everything will be okay. And I think that's completely inaccurate. I think there are seasons when I just have to go do. And I have to go begin acting differently. Even if I don't feel like being nice to my wife, I'm going to go do the dishes and take the trash out because I'm going to start leaning into some of these practices. And we've just left that off the quote unquote mental health conversation, the relationship conversation. And so there's some stuff we got to think differently, but man, we just got to start doing stuff differently sometimes.
Well, and you keep talking about it, and you warned me out with it in a good way, that that the importance of relationships, the importance that people are your emergency fund.
Yeah.
Relationships are your emergency fund. When you're facing high stress, high burnout situations, or you're facing high anxiety, you're facing grief, you're facing catastrophe, tragedy, whatever it is you're facing, and we've all had our share of those things in the past 36 months.
I don't remember if you remember during our interview, when you and I, one of the last conversations we had, because of my research, my academic work with leaders and executives, one of the last things I asked you was, who do you listen to? And you rattled off a group of men that you're connected with, a group of pastors here, a group of this, and a leadership team. And I remember going to the parking lot, and I called Sheila and said, Dave and I might disagree on 1,000 things, but I trust him and I can work for him because he's got other people he listens to. He's got other people in his life. And that I've found is the key to making good business decisions, good financial decisions, good marital decisions, is having other people in your life you can reach out to.
Yeah. But in this mess, I'll be honest with you, I reached a point where I just didn't want to be around people.
I did too. I found myself
and I
lonely.
You said you're talking about forcing yourself to go do the dishes, carry
right.
the trash. It was like I had to force myself back into those relationships.
That's right.
I had to do it as an act of my will because I didn't want to do it. And I didn't want to be around them.
That's right.
Because I was just disgusted.
I'm with you.
Human beings pissed me off. You know, it was just like,
yes.
There was a point during all this stuff when all the masks and the vaccines and the crazy butt stuff, and I just went, you know what? I don't want to talk to any of you. You're all fools.
I'm going home.
You're all fools.
Netflix
I'm
is just
sit
going
on
to
my
tell
back
me
porch.
They're going to tell me what I want to watch.
The dog, by God. The dog ain't got an opinion about the vaccine. You know, I don't want anything to do with all this junk. But you know, that's a human reaction.
Absolutely, yes.
And yet you do need to take some things where you own that and you step into
the
intentionally pass that, and you call a friend and go, okay, you know, 2 friends, 3 friends, we got to sit on the back porch
yes.
and we're not turning on the TV and we're not looking at screens.
Yes.
We're just going to sit here and tell stupid 13-year-old jokes or whatever we're going to do. But
yes.
But you know, we're just going to hang, and that's the kind of stuff in this book, and that's why this book's white hot. It's going out the door like crazy. Own your past, change your future. A not so complicated approach to relationships, mental health, and wellness. If you've listened to the Dr. John Deloney show, and he says things that you go, gosh, I wish I could just talk to him. I wish I could just sit down with him. This is the best attempt we can all come up with. Is this book is just like him sitting across the table from you. If you got, I wonder what he would say about, well, just read this book, because it's what he would say to you if you were sitting across the table. And if you're not listening to the Dr. John Deloney Show, the podcast, you need to be. You need to be tuning in. So the book is on sale officially today. It is all of you that pre-ordered. There's tens of thousands of you that pre-ordered. Thank you so much for that over the past few months. All of those books were shipped today. They're available today in bookstores. Amazon is shipping today. If you pre-ordered there or you order today, it'll ship today. If you order from RamseySolutions.com, it will ship today. The audiobook, the ebook are all available as well, as read by the author. And I'll just tell you, that's a treat.
Hey, let me tell you this. It's not lost on me that none of this happens without your hospitality. I'm grateful for you.
Well,
Thank you for all the help and support. This has been a beautiful journey.
Easy to endorse something that's this transformative, that's this helpful.
I'm grateful.
And that is this good for people. Own your past, change your future. Get your copy today. We're going to be taking your calls right here on The Ramsey Show.
Still on baby step number 1, eh?
How'd you guess?
With healthcare costs rising, learn how Christian Healthcare Ministries can help you make the most out of your budget. Visit chministries.org/budget.
Don't worry, it's worth it.
Dr. John Deloney, Ramsey Personality, is my co-host today here on The Ramsey Show. I'm Dave Ramsey. The phone number is 888-825-5225. Charlotte is in Denver, Colorado. Hi, Charlotte. How are you?
I'm good. How are you?
Better than I deserve. How can we help?
So I'm just calling because we are moving across country from Colorado to Iowa. And we've just put our house under contract, and we're getting quite a lot of proceeds from the sale of our house. And I just want to make sure we're using that money wisely moving forward.
Cool. You going to buy a house when you move?
Yeah, it's where my husband's family is from, so we feel pretty confident about buying in that area.
Okay, good. And why would you not just use this money to buy a house?
So my husband's going back to school. I'm finishing nursing school. He's put me through school for the last 2 years, and now we're working on his career, and he's going back to school. And so the mortgage payment that we can afford is going to be a lot less than the house that we just sold. So we're still planning on, we're going to get about $100,000 worth of proceeds after closing costs from the sale of our house. We're planning on looking at a house in the budget of about $150,000 and then planning on putting about $60,000 down. We could put more on, but we're not sure if we should put money towards his tuition, so we have that piled up. Kind of doing other stuff. We want to pay off about $19,000 worth of student loan debt, and then fill up our emergency fund so we're done with the baby steps. And I just
that makes
want to make
sense.
sure
I like that.
$100,000 just feels like a lot.
That makes sense. I like
want
that.
to make sure we're using it.
No, I think you pay off the student loan debt. You have the emergency fund. You have the money set aside for his tuition. No student loans, no future loans. Got rid of the old ones, got rid of the new ones.
You put the rest of it on your house.
Put the rest of it on your house. Yeah, have at it. And you're gonna go pass your bar, and you're gonna be a nurse while he's in school. That's cool.
Yeah, wonderful.
What's he studying?
Okay. He's going to be doing computer science to be a software developer.
Oh, I love it. Okay, so let me tell you this. This was something that actually I've had the benefit of sitting by Dave off air and just talking to him as my life has grown up and changed. I grew up and we didn't have a lot growing up. In fact, we had some seasons where things were pretty sparse. And so the idea of $50,000 or $25,000 or $100,000 was so overwhelming. Just that number was big. And Dave has reminded me just privately, always go back to the principles and always go back to the basics. Right, so whether it's $10, $100, $10,000, or $100,000, I'm still going to roll back to those baby steps, and I'm going to just follow those principles line after line after line, and it's just taking a lot of pressure off me because I tend to look at the number, not at the ratios. I tend to look at that number and not at just the basic principles that are always going to work, whether it's $10 or $10,000.
Kelly, what he's saying is actually perfect because it's human nature. When you get an amount of money that is the largest amount emotionally you've ever went, oh my God, that's a lot of money, that kind of thing, right? When that happens in your spirit, all of a sudden you think, it's so much money, the rules don't apply.
Yeah.
Well, yeah, they do.
Because you're going to go want to buy a Tesla, right? Because you got $100,000.
It's like the guy who got he got a $10,000. He does scratch and sniff lottery ticket, right? And got $10,000, and now he thinks he can retire. You can't retire on $10,000, you goob. But he never had $10,000 in his hand before, right? And so he goes, "Oh my God, I won the lottery!" No, you didn't. You just got $10,000. It's okay. I mean, it's just the principles still apply. The principles still apply. And the weird thing is, you'll have these emotional moments as you handle more and more and more wealth, to John's point, that will stretch you on that. I mean, I remember the first time I gave $1,000 in one single check. Uh-huh. I remember it distinctly because we'd gotten a $10,000 thing that happened, and I was tithing at the church. And I went, oh, well, I'm just a big hairy deal. That's $1,000. I don't know how this place operated before I came along, But it's just like, isn't that a load of crap, Hey, but that's just what happens. That's just the way you feel because you think that's a lot of money. And then I remember the first time I tithed $10,000.
Yep.
And I wasn't nearly as arrogant about that.
That's right.
It was weird.
Hey, Dave, I had a moment where I had a similar moment when I thought, look at all this I'm giving. And I just am friends with my pastor, and he's like, so-and-so, she's a widow, and she drops this much money every year. And I thought, oh gosh,
just in case you thought you were a deal.
Flexing on my big suit and my fancy. That woman, God, that's embarrassing,
right.
man.
That's exactly right. So Charlotte, that's human nature, and so just remember the principles always apply. There's three things you can do with money: you can give it, you can enjoy it, and you can invest it. and you should always be looking at doing all three. You should always be generous. You should always be saving. You should always be enjoying it. And what you outlined there, following the baby steps, allows you to do all of that. You're hitting your education goals. You're hitting your move goal. You're hitting your real estate goal.
Your debt goal.
Everything, your debt goal. Yeah, everything's going right here.
Yeah.
So it worked perfectly. It just feels a little bit unnerving because it's the first time I had a check that big in my hand.
Yeah.
And it's just, that's a normal human reaction.
Congratulations,
Good for
Charlie.
you. Way to go. It sounds like a great move, too. Kelly's in Virginia Beach. Hi, Kelly. How are you?
Hi, how are you guys?
Better than we deserve. What's up?
Well, I have a settlement for my minor child after a car accident that is being held in a low interest bearing account of the court's choosing. And I want to petition the juvenile court system for access to the funds because in 3 years, the account that they put it in, it's only gained $9.
Oh, God.
And she's not going to be 18 until she's 6. And I just really feel like something better could be done with this. Not risky, but better.
Yeah, well, you're right. The question is, can we get the juvenile court to grow a brain? Because they're so scared that the parent of the child is going to go out and use the money for cocaine or lottery tickets or something stupid that they clamp down on it, and they get dumber than a rock a lot of times. Honestly, it's the stupidest thing. It aggravates me to no end. It's my freaking child. As long as I'm a responsible adult taking care of my freaking child, I should be able to invest this money. But the court doesn't see it that way. So it's a problem. I would petition it with a financial advisor furnishing you a letter showing that this is the same set of mutual funds you would put in your 401k, Your Honor.
Oh,
He says sarcastically. Okay. But, yeah. And so actually, a juvenile court judge is a friend of mine. I mess with her all the time. But you know, the thing is but you need to, if you go in and just like this thing making no money, I want my money. That's not going to work as a petition, right? But if you go in with a really logical, calm, conservative plan, and these are the same mutual funds, Your Honor, you would put into your 401k plan, and that's what or into a 529 plan if I was going to a financial advisor. So go to RamseySolutions.com, click on SmartVestor Pro, find the SmartVestor Pro in your area, and they will help you with this. And then you've got at least a shot. But I will tell you that what you're running into is very normal, and it's frustrating as crud.
I've never heard that.
I didn't even know that they had assigned a liaison until we started getting advertisements from a bank that I knew myself or her dad didn't have accounts at. So when I contacted the bank, they didn't even they told me that they weren't at liberty to tell me why they were sending my daughter advertisements from their bank. And I had to go to the bank and physically speak with the manager. And then she finally said, well, yes, we do have an account here, but we can't tell you what's in it or what's going on with it. You'll have to contact the courthouse. And then it clicked in, oh, this must be the settlement money.
Yeah. Yeah.
Wow.
They didn't even let me know. Yeah. I didn't even know that it was in
This is the nanny state that has taken over parental rights from the parent, is what it amounts to in a financial realm.
And I'm sure that bank loves sitting on that kind of money and paying $1 of interest a year.
Yeah.
They're making a killing on that money.
Absolutely.
Wow. I had no idea about that. Thanks for sharing that, Kelly. Good grief. I didn't know that's how that worked.
I love it.
What a mess.
I love it. Oh, my gosh. Wow. You're not going to believe what's coming up after this break. I have a friend who's a celebrity that emailed me a few minutes ago, and he says, hey, can I ask a favor? And I said, sure. And then I just got this scam email back. Somebody's hacked him.
Oh, fantastic.
So I'm not going to give his name, but we're going to cover scam emails here coming back from the break.
Yes.
This is The Ramsey Show. If you're looking for ways to update your home without blowing the budget, I've got it. For years, I've been telling you about our friends at Blinds.com. Blinds.com makes it simple to shop top quality blinds, shades, and interior shutters from home with easy online ordering and free shipping. With Blinds.com, there's no need to renovate your entire home. Just change out what's on your windows with upscale choices like faux wood blinds, cellular and roller shades, or even outdoor shades. Plus, Blinds.com guarantees the perfect fit, whether you do it yourself or you have them measure and install everything for you. Shop their latest looks and see how much you can save at Blinds.com today. The easy and affordable way to make your home more beautiful is Blinds.com. Dr. John Deloney, Ramsey Personality, is my co-host. Open phones at 888-825-5225. Okay, so we do have a debt-free scream on hold. I got to get to them, but you got to hear this. So my buddy, who shall remain nameless, is a household name. We share emails, and we'll bug each other and give each other a hard time sometimes. And I get this strange email from him a minute ago, and it says, at the commercial break, it said, "Hey, can I ask a favor?" And normally he would say what it was, right? But I emailed back, said, "Sure, anything you need. What do you need? I'll help you any way I can, you know." And then I get this email back. "Sorry for bothering you with this email. I need to get an Apple gift card for my niece. It's her birthday, but I can't do this now because I'm currently traveling. I tried purchasing one online, but unfortunately had no luck with that. Can you get it from any store around you? I'll pay you back as soon as I can. Total amount needed is $500. Kindly let me know if you can handle this."
So the giveaway for me is none of your friends would say the words, "Kindly let me know if you can handle this." None of them.
Well, there's that. And even my most, elderly of friends,
yes,
which several would fall in that category, could probably figure out a way to execute a gift card purchase online. So
for $500.
This guy could have had like 3 or 4 possible different assistants do it. But, it wouldn't have been emailing me about doing it. So I just emailed the scammer back. He's obviously had his personal email hacked. And so I just flipped it back and emailed it right back and just said scam alert. So I'm messing with him. I should have kept him pushing it, sucked it in. I'll be the FBI mole.
Oh, I put James Child's email address on there. His
is that
personal
what you
one.
did?
Yeah, that was good.
I could do that. I could put somebody that I want to mess with.
Kelly's cell phone?
Yes. No, but this guy can help you.
Yeah.
That's the worst punking in the world. Turn somebody over to a scammer.
Excellent.
Oh, so I guess everybody knows about the Nigerian prince. This is the version.
This is the new
This
one.
is the new version of the Nigerian prince. Yeah.
Nobody knows about the I need an Apple
gift card for my niece. It's her birthday, but I'm so inept I can't buy it online. However, if you'll run down to the store and buy one physically for me, I'll show up and take it from you as a representative of your friend. Oh, my God. What are you, an idiot?
Just kindly let me know.
Yeah, seriously.
Kindly let me know.
Kindly let me know. I kindly said no. Kindly. Jordan and Nicole are in Washington. They're debt-free. Way to go, guys.
Thank you.
Thank you.
How much did you pay off?
We paid off $96,063 in a little over 2 years.
Wow. Way to go. And your range of income during that 2 years?
110 to 120.
Good. What do you guys do for a living?
I am a pipe fitter welder, and
I am a pediatric nurse.
Awesome. Very cool.
Y'all have been busy the last few years, both of you, huh?
We have.
Very much so.
Wow. What kind of debt was the $96K?
It was our house.
Yeah. Talking to weird people. How old are you guys?
Yes.
How old are you?
I am 32.
Gosh.
And my wife is 31.
And you have a paid-for house.
Yes,
You
sir.
do.
Straight up weird.
You won.
Yeah.
You just won Monopoly right then. Yeah,
Wow.
you got a hotel on Boardwalk, man. Way to go, you guys! It's
Look at that
amazing.
beautiful house.
What's this house worth?
The house is roughly right around $400,000 right now.
And it's yours. I like it. Y'all are freaky cool. So tell me the truth. How did all this happen? What got this started?
Really, it started about 11 years ago. Before we got married, we took financial peace at one of our local churches, and just started kind of working the program. And one of the goals through our marriage was to really maintain debt free. We did do some Dave-ish things for a lot of years. Still, we stayed away from credit cards, but we did do Dave-ish. And then really the last 2 years, decided to put the pedal to the metal, and we've looked at the debt we owed on the house and said we could do this in 2 years.
Is that what flipped the switch from ish to knocking out the house? Was you realize you could do it?
So we committed to doing it.
We committed, yeah.
Well, I mean, there had to be something kind of going on. Usually there's some kind of an event or some conversation. It doesn't just generally drop out of the sky on your head. I mean, what was the thing that went from ish to committed?
I think for us, one of the biggest things was we had our third kiddo, and we have a 3-bedroom house.
Mm-hmm.
So we were trying to figure out, are we going to upgrade and get a bigger house? Are we going to just commit and figure out how to all 5 of us live in this house? And so we made some changes and some sacrifices. We actually put his crib in our walk-in closet and made it work so that we all had space and we could live in this house comfortably and not have to sacrifice our goal of paying it off. So at that point, Jordan made a little list of our goals, and
there we go. There it is.
Pay off and taped it in our closet, and we just started busting it out.
You went down to Home Depot and looked for a room stretcher, and they didn't have them.
they don't have that.
Yeah, that's right. I understand. That's usually there's some kind of a series of events, and you go, okay. Instead, what we're going to do is we're going to knock this freaking thing out.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's cool. That's very good because the way the decision making process works that brings you up to that point of committed is an interesting thing to kind of consider when you're considering transforming your life, because you freaking transformed your lives. Way to go.
Thank you.
Thank you.
What do you tell people the key to getting out of debt is?
I personally think just having a plan and then working the plan was our key. You know, we had that direction. We knew what we wanted. And then, we went after it by working extra, cutting back where we could, doing the budget on a monthly basis and having those conversations and saying no to 3 young kids, which can be definitely hard. But that was the key for us, I think.
I think it's important for everybody to hear. You guys could have done what most people would do in your situation, which is to put your house on the market and go buy a bigger house that you probably couldn't afford. And I want you to know, I think you did the greatest thing you could have done for those kids, which is to keep everybody crammed together, but to let them see you struggle, pay this thing off, and now they're going to get to live a life with infinitely less stress because mom and dad are not going to be running around trying to figure out how to make bills work. They're going to be figuring out how we're going to spend and save and give this money away. Right? What an incredible transformation.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Well done. You guys are heroes.
Involved with it too. They know that we've been paying off our house, and especially our oldest is 6, and he knows no credit cards, and he'll see the commercials and say they're lying.
Excellent.
It's pretty cool to have their involvement. Yeah.
Excellent.
Yeah. He sees a SoFi commercial. He starts going, cheetah! Yeah, I like it. That's great.
I'm so proud of him, man. That's incredible.
Pretty much.
Pretty much. That's cool. I like it, man. Just train them early. Way to go, you guys. Way to go. We got a copy of Baby Steps Millionaires for you. How ordinary people built extraordinary wealth. How you can too. You're on your way to being millionaires with a paid-for $400,000 house and $120,000 income and not a payment in the world, and you're only 32. Wow! I love it. Also, copy of Total Money Makeover. Count it down. Jordan and Nicole from Washington, $96,000 paid off in 2 years, making $110,000 to $120,000, house and everything. Let's hear your debt-free scream.
3, 2, 1.
And the chipmunk voices are joining in there. That's good.
Love it.
Kiddos are even in on the debt-free scream. This is how it's done right here, boys and girls. This is the Ramsey Show. It's book launch week for Own Your Past, Change Your Future. Dr. John Deloney's first major publication, a not-so-complicated approach to relationships, mental health, and wellness, the importance of connection, the importance of dealing with the things that are in your past, not being defined by them, and learning to tell the story to yourself properly and into the future. It's a whole different thing. You're going to need this book. It's now available right now. Everyone needs to read it. It is not a book for crazy people. If you have serious mental illness, you are going to need something different than this book, or more than this book. Anyway, it won't hurt you, but it's not about dealing with major diagnosis of multiple personality disorder. That's not what this book is about. This book is about the rest of us who all have a journey, and if you had to have a good guide on your journey, this is the book, right? This is the guy you want, Dr. John Deloney. It's only $20 at RamseySolutions.com. We're going to be doing 2 book signings. John's going to be in 2 different cities. This week, he'll travel to Phoenix, Arizona, and on Thursday night of this week at 6 p.m., April the 21st, he'll be at the Barnes & Noble at Desert Ridge Marketplace at North Tatum Boulevard, up on the north side of Phoenix. It's a great store. I've been there myself. He'll be signing books starting at 6 o'clock. Make plans to attend. Dallas, Texas, a week from this Wednesday, the next week after the book comes out, Wednesday, April the 27th at 6 p.m., the Barnes & Noble there at Prestonwood Town Center on Beltline Road. Again, I've been there and done a signing myself, and it's a wonderful store. So make sure you make plans to come out to those 2 different signings, Dallas and Phoenix. And other than that, you're more than welcome always to drop by and watch the show here. Dr. John's signing books at the break just now during the commercial break out here in the lobby. We've always got 50 to 200 folks hanging out here with the free coffee and the free homemade chocolate chip cookies made by Satan. Made by...
She's not Satan. She'll
I know,
kill
but she's the tempter. She's a tempter is what she is. Yeah, so the chocolate chip cookies, you smell them when you walk into our lobby. It smells like Mama's home instead of corporate America. Yeah, so come in, hang out at the lobby in the whole... visitor center here at Ramsey's worth seeing in Franklin, Tennessee. Come and make that a stop, and John will be happy to sign your books if he's in town.
Hey, we're going to cause a ruckus at those Barnes &
book
Nobles.
Signings.
They've never had mosh pits there. We're going to get them going. We're going to have a good time at those events.
Mosh pit book signing.
We're going to have a good time, man.
Not one I've tried.
Nope.
I've done just about everything else.
Have a good
Never
time.
done a mosh
We're going to
pit.
have a good time.
All right. Guatemala is calling. Jeff is on the line. Hi, Jeff. Welcome to the Ramsey Show.
Hi, Dave and John. Thank you for taking my question.
Sure.
So my wife and daughter and I have lived in Guatemala for the last 5 years as missionaries and nonprofit directors. We're now making a transition in careers, and I've been accepted into a flight school to become an airline pilot.
Wow.
And this school is in Phoenix. So the big transition. We're currently on baby steps 4, 5, and 6. And our question is, we actually own a home in Colorado that we have been renting for the past 5 years. And we thought about selling this home and buying in Phoenix, but we were talking to our CPA and found out that because we haven't lived in the home 2 of the last 5 years, that we are going to be paying an estimated $54,000 in capital gains.
Yep.
And so we just want to get your advice on if we should keep renting it out, and then we would just keep renting in Phoenix and then hope that years later we can maybe eventually make that place our primary residence again. But it's also a hard decision, too, because with the airline industry, we don't know where we will be living in the next 3 years or 5 years.
What do you owe on the house in Colorado?
So about $163,000.
And what is it worth?
About $450,000.
I would sell it. Pay the capital gains, put the money in the bank, go to flight school. How are you paying for flight school?
We've been saving for years, and so we have enough to cash flow it.
Very good.
Awesome.
Very good.
So
I would go to flight school, and when you know where you're going to be based, and you move your family to where you're going to be based after you graduate from flight school, I would buy a home.
Okay.
And just park the money in a money market account or in a little S&P 500 mutual fund or something. But here's the thing: you have your family's going through a tremendous amount of transition. You're moving from missionary to commercial pilot. You are moving from Guatemala to Phoenix. The last thing you need is a tenant
in another state.
Okay.
And the capital gains is not going to get any better, and you're not ever going to move back in that house. You're not going to be based out of Colorado with a major airline.
Right.
The likelihood is close to zero.
Yep. That is true. That is true.
Yeah. So let's just call it. Tap out. Take your money.
Okay.
While the getting's good. It's a great real estate market. Let's get the money out and call it a day, baby. Thank you for serving the Lord, man. It's an interesting transition you've been through.
Thank you. So if we were going to maybe buy in 5 years, would you suggest putting that money in something more than a money market account?
Yeah, I like parking it in an S&P 500 because you're going to be leaving it alone quite a while. It may not be quite 5 years.
Right.
But an S&P 500, it's a no-load fund, so there's going to be no commission. Like Vanguard's got a good one as an example. Okay, there's lots of them, but that's Fidelity's got one. There's 2 or 3 of them that you can get. It's no commission, and you just park it there. And it's even if it does poorly, it's going to do better than a stupid savings account.
Correct.
Yeah.
Correct.
I mean, let's say you put $200,000 in there, and it loses a horrible amount. It's the worst 4-year period in a long, long time, and you lose 10% of your money. Which, by the way, if you look up statistically, that would be a very rare event. But if you did, you lost $20,000. Whatever. Life goes on.
Yeah.
You already lost 54 because the stupid government took it. So, it's just like, that's what you're dealing with. So, was I unclear? Okay. Good stuff. Good times. Gabriel is in Orlando, Florida. Hey, Gabriel, welcome to the Ramsey Show.
Hey, how are you guys?
Better than I deserve. How can I help?
Well, thanks for taking the call. I just have a quick question. So I run a business, and, we're a debt-free company.
Good.
I've been around for 16 years.
Good.
And I guess the main question that I have that I can't find the answer to is how do you budget companies like budgeting when you don't know, what next month is going to bring in?
Well, you do know. You've been doing it 16 years. You got a pretty good idea.
Okay.
Don't you?
But
you ought to be able to tell me. You ought to be able to tell me what the next 12 months look like. Pretty solid. If you've been doing it 16 years, this ain't your first ride on the cabbage truck.
It's true. I'm just trying to figure out, every year it changes, though.
Sure it does.
For example.
Yeah. So here's what you're doing. It's a forecasting method, and you say, okay, based on what we did last year, the coming 12 months or the coming 3 months or the coming March or the coming April or the coming May, whatever it is, we should do something similar to what we did last May, but it could be better because of A, B, or C, or it could be worse because of X, Y, or Z. And then you make the adjustment because of that, okay? So here's an example, okay? We are launching Dr. John Deloney's book this year, in this month. So when we get to this month next year to do our budget for our publishing department, we're not going to have probably a book this big in April of 2023. And so we're going to have to go, oh, we can't budget the same revenue because we're not going to have a book that sells this much in this month. We might have another book that sells this much in May, but we're not going to in April, likely next year. So, by the way, next year, April budget's already done, and it's not got a book in it. So that's the truth. That's what happened, okay? So that's what you're doing. You adjust down for things that are different, up for things that are different, and then you have your projected revenues. Same thing with your expenses. You adjust down for things that are different and up for things that are different, and now you've got your adjusted expenses based on same month last year, same year last year. And then you have an adjusted profit and loss. And after doing it 16 years, you should hit within a 90 percentile, within 10% of accuracy on that. That puts this hour of the Ramsey Show on the books.
Hey, it's John Deloney, co-host of The Ramsey Show. Did you know over 18 million people listen to The Ramsey Show every week? A lot of those people listen on one of our 600-plus radio stations across the country. To find a station near you, go to RamseySolutions.com/show.
This is The Ramsey Show. You can be intentional about your character. You can have money and a career. You are the hero in your story. Live from the headquarters of Ramsey Solutions, it's The Ramsey Show, where debt is dumb, cash is king, and the paid-off home mortgage has taken the place of the BMW as the status symbol of choice. I'm Dave Ramsey, your host. Dr. John Deloney, Ramsey Personality, is my co-host today. It is book launch day at Ramsey. Own Your Past, Change Your Future is officially on the market. You will find it in bookstores today. You will have it shipped to your home today if you were one of the tens of thousands that pre-purchased it. The audiobook is available. The ebook is available. Own Your Past, Change Your Future, a not-so-complicated approach to relationships, mental health, and wellness. Now available everywhere great books are sold, including RamseySolutions.com on our own store. Only $20 available right this second. Open phones at 888-825-5225. We help people build wealth, do work that they love, and create amazing relationships and mental wellness. And Dr. John's here to help with that part in particular today. 888-825-5225. Ryan's with us in Tampa, Florida. Hi, Ryan. Welcome to the Ramsey Show.
Hey, guys. How are you today?
Better than we deserve, brother. What's up?
Quick question for y'all. My wife and I are recently debt-free except for our house. We paid off about $50,000 in student loans.
Way to go.
Thank you. We've got about 3 months worth of expenses saved in the emergency fund. We're going to try to get closer to 6 months. But my question is that when is the right time, or when do I really need a financial advisor? We both got Roth 401ks with our company, and I've gone in and selected the funds that look like they've been doing the best over 10 years.
Good.
So outside of that, when do we really need to get a financial advisor?
You got kids?
No, not yet.
Okay. All right. Well, anytime you're going to do any more investing, you're certainly going to need one. Just if you need to do something more than your 401k or different than your 401k, and if you're ready to start 529 for a kiddo, that's why I ask about kiddos, then you can do that. If you want to meet with a SmartVestor Pro now, they'll meet with you, and they'll tell you exactly what's going on, and you may not have a need to purchase a fund from them right now. But it's okay to start establishing a relationship because they definitely want to be available to you. They make their money based on what you invest with them. If you're investing zero with them, then, you don't have a lot of need for one right now. But and they don't have a lot of need for you. but that's you don't need a real estate agent if you're not buying or selling a house, right? But doesn't hurt if you're thinking about getting into thinking about buying a house sometime in the next year or two. Doesn't hurt to meet with one, that kind of thing. That's the way this works. And so, yeah, if you want to hit RamseySolutions.com and click on that, it's a good thing. John, there's a huge advantage in the multitude of counsel. There's safety, the Bible says. And so putting people in your corner that are experts in different areas, subject matter experts, whether it's taxes or estate planning or insurance or mental health or investing, it is a good thing. In every one of those cases, including mental health professionals, they are there to teach you,
right?
Not to not to boss you,
right?
And so you never want to say financially, "Oh, I can't do that. My financial advisor won't let me." That's absolute crap. It's your freaking money.
Yes.
My financial advisor advised me against it, and I agreed with his advice once I understood. Would be a proper way of stating that.
And I just got a call. I just got a call from my financial advisor the other day, who's one of the Ramsey trusted advisors, and he said, "Hey, this is what the market's doing. I'm recommending that we make this thing. Here's why I'm recommending we make this thing. What are your thoughts on this?" And I said, "Well." My response was, "Are you making the same deal on your personal thing?" And he said, "Absolutely, yes." And I said, "I understand why you're doing this. I trust you. I trust this process. So let's do what we're going to do." But there's somebody who all they're doing all day is watching this stuff on my behalf, right? Because I might know the basics. I might understand what's happening. I don't have time to go in, and that's why I hire them, right? So having an expert is so important.
Absolutely. Daniel is with us in Dayton, Ohio. Hi, Daniel. What's up?
Good afternoon, sir. Good to talk to you.
You too. How can we help?
Well, so I've got a question. My wife and I are considering leading financial peace at our church this coming summer.
Wonderful.
But we're just about baby steps 2, looking to have the car paid off this week, house in 3 to 5 years or so. And just looking for, we've been following you for our whole married life, probably about 6 years. But I'm just concerned with trying to lead the class while we are in the middle of the steps ourselves. Just kind of either encouragement, advice, or caution that you may have with trying to do that.
No, I would do it.
Absolutely, 100%.
Absolutely, I'd do it. As long as you're doing the stuff we teach. You don't want to be a hypocrite. Why is it taking you 6 years?
That's just the long end of the spectrum.
That's your mortgage too, right?
Is that your mortgage?
Yeah. Yes.
Okay, well, baby step 2 doesn't have your mortgage in it, man.
Well, I just think long term of.
But didn't you tell me you had been working on this 6 years?
No, my wife, we've been listening to you, following you, and then we bought our house a couple of years ago, and then by the time we are free and clear of everything, would be in the next 3 to 6 years.
House and everything?
Work and bonuses. Yes, sir.
Okay, I thought you said you were in baby step 2. Are you in baby step 2?
Yes, we have our $1,000, and we are working on the rest of our debts.
Okay, so how much debt did you have, not counting your home?
We had a personal loan of about $12,000, and then.
So you have not been working on baby step 2 for 6 years.
No, he said they're going to be.
No, he said he'd been following our stuff for 6 years.
We've been listening to you.
Not really.
Yeah.
Okay. All right. You've been listening at me. Okay, I got it. Okay, so when did you actually start working on the baby steps?
about a year and a half ago.
Okay,
There
I feel
we
a lot
go.
better now.
There
Yes,
we go, yeah.
please take Financial Peace University.
I apologize.
What I was
I
trying,
did-
no, what I was
I
trying to
did nervous on
ascertain, Daniel, I was trying to figure out if you were ishing this or not. If you're sort of kind of doing it. Because if you're going to go in and be a hypocrite, you don't want to lead it. Because I'm telling you, you'll have a hardcore Dave fan in there, hardcore Ramsey fan in there, and they'll call your butt out, man. So as long as you're really doing the stuff, you'll be a great coordinator. It doesn't matter what baby step you're in. But just don't be hypocritical. That's what I was trying to dig into. How you doing this 6 years and you're in baby step 2 still? So that doesn't make sense. But now I understand. You just started really actually applying the concepts that you'll be leading in Financial Peace about a year ago. That's perfect. You're going to be a great coordinator. Thank you for doing it. And yes, you should do it. Please. Thank you. Thank you, please.
If you're considering a career in technology, I recommend Bethel Tech, and I'm not alone. Here's what Brendan said. Before Bethel Tech, I was driving Uber. Within 4 months of graduating, I got a job paying $60,000. About 2 years after that, I got a remote job that pays me $130,000, all thanks to what I learned at Bethel Tech. You could be next. Get started today at betheltech.net and get $1,000 to $2,500 off of your tuition. Again, it's betheltech.net/Ken Coleman.
So excited about the new book, Own Your Past, Change Your Future, came out today. Another thing we're really excited about, a lot of good things happening around here right now. We're back on the road again. We've got these live events showing up everywhere, and including we have launched our first SMART conference in several years. The pandemic and the offset with the venues, and man, it was just been a mess, and man, we're so excited to get to be with you all. We've got 6,000 seats. We've sold over half of them already for the Dallas SMART Conference this fall, October the 22nd. It's all day long Saturday. It is all of the Ramsey personalities, plus special guests Craig and Amy Groeschel from lifechurch.tv that they'll be teaching marriage. And he's pastor of one of the largest churches in America and is absolutely incredible communicator. She is as well. They're a wonderful couple, good friends of Sharon's and mine, and we're really excited to have them teaching on marriage. Dr. John will be teaching on mental wellness. We'll be teaching on leadership, on personal growth, on career with Ken Coleman. We'll be talking about money. George Camel will be there. Dave Ramsey, Rachel Cruz will be there. It's going to be incredible. Christina Ellis will be there. And listen, it's all day long, and you will leave smart. That's why we call it SMART Conference. Neat name, huh?
And right on the nose, just like the Dave Ramsey Show.
Well, it used to be.
You're going to leave tired, too, because if you do anything hard and anything worth of value, you're going to leave tired. So just come ready to rock and roll.
I mean, if you went to a concert that lasted all day long, you'd be tired.
That's right.
You know, so, I mean, that's what, and this is world-class communication from the stage. World-class thought leaders. You will not be bored. You will feel like you've gone up to a water fountain to get a drink and somebody turned on a fire hose.
That's right.
But you got to come. This thing is life-changing. It's transformative. Tickets are only $39, or at least they start at that. VIPs are, of course, a lot more than that. RamseySolutions.com/events. SMART Conference, October 22nd in Dallas, the Big D, where John Deloney will be 1 week from Wednesday on April the 27th doing book signing there at the Barnes & Noble. Make sure you make plans to be there 1 week from tomorrow. Also, guys, we're getting ready to do a financial literacy theme hour about saving for college, paying for college, about scholarships, about going to college debt-free. If you have a question in that area, go to RamseySolutions.com/ask, put college in the subject line. David is in Montgomery, Alabama. Hi, David. Welcome to the Ramsey Show.
Good afternoon, gentlemen. How are you guys doing today?
Better than we deserve. What's up?
Fantastic. So I'm looking into long-term care insurance for my wife. She's 55. Actually, we're both 55. So we probably need to wait another 5 years, as you usually recommend 60.
Yes,
but
sir.
Understanding that, my question is, when do I consider her self-insured? As I think we're kind of on the cut line for considering ourselves self-insured or needing long-term care.
Yeah. Well, self-insured always means you can take the hit for the expense without disrupting the whole plan. Okay? So let's kind of walk that through. The average nursing home stay in America is 2.5 years. Typically, the typical scenario is 75% of the ladies outlive their husbands. And so the typical scenario is Papa goes into the nursing home, burns through $300,000, and if that was the entire nest egg, he cracks and scrambles the nest egg and scrambled eggs and dies and leaves Mama with nothing. Okay, so we obviously don't want that. So if your entire net worth is $300,000, you can't do that. You have to have good long-term care insurance. If your entire net worth is $10 million, you can write a $300,000 check and not blink. So if the average nursing home stay is 2.5 years and the average cost is around $100,000 a year, then that's $250,000 to $300,000 is your typical exposure. Could it be more? Yeah, it could be, but it probably won't be. And you can do in-home care even cheaper than that and maybe get better quality care depending on the type of issue that you're dealing with in terms of caring for the individual. So all that to say, if you can take a $300,000 hit and the person that's left keep rolling, then you're okay. So if you got $1 million and they're left with 700, are you okay? Yeah, probably.
Yeah, okay, that makes sense.
Yeah, probably. Sure. So what's your net worth?
900.
Yeah.
Well, actually, probably 1.1, but yeah, 900.
Yeah, and it'll double. Have you got it invested well? Good mutual funds?
Oh, yeah, absolutely.
And you're 55, so when you're 62, that's going to be $2 million.
Roger.
Okay, and when you are 70, it's going to be $4 million.
Yeah.
So between 60 and 70, between 60 years and 70 years, you're going to have between $2 and $5 million, $2 and $8 million. You're self-insured. You're fine. As long as you set the investments up where you can access them, and then you do. Okay? But be ready to write the check emotionally and say, that's why I've worked my whole life, is so I can take care of my sweetie.
Yep, makes sense. Oh, no, I'll be long dead before that happens. She'll be writing the check herself.
Same here, man.
Long dead.
Same
Long dead. That's... It's part of the Ramsey estate plan. Our entire estate plan is predicated on me dying first. I'm a little worried. I'm a little worried Sharon has a plan here. I'm just saying. We're the same freaking age. Actually, she's 3 or 4 months older than me.
You should probably not say that out loud ever again.
Well, it's okay. I mean, we've been married 40 years. We'll get through it. But oh my gosh. I mean, geez.
Hey, is there
Why do I have to die first? I don't.
It's just
because I'd be useless without her.
That's right.
Yeah.
Hey, if looking at life at the total net worth package, is there any sort of ratio that we should be careful of when it comes to how much of our home makes up our net worth?
Well, in that case,
you have to sell your house.
With that discussion, you'd have to. If you said, okay, I have $1 million net worth and $900,000 of it's my home,
right?
You can't pay for the nursing home,
right?
Without selling the house.
Yep.
So, yeah, that's a problem.
Or you downsize it and go get a condo or something, whatever.
And then you can pay for the nursing home, but you got to sell the house.
Right.
Not saying you have to live homeless, but you got to sell the house.
So the key is less about net worth and more, can you eat $300,000? Can you write that check?
Can you write that check and still be okay?
There you go. All right.
And so if you had $1.3 million net worth with $1 million house and you wrote a $300,000 check, you ain't okay.
You have no margin. That's right.
It's not okay. So you're right. That's a good clarification that you don't want it all tied up in that. Or let's say you had a whole bunch of real estate. And that was your whole net worth. Plan on selling a couple of those rentals.
Sell some houses. That's right.
You know, you're gonna pop one of those rentals to be able to pay for the thing, and that's just part of it.
Yeah.
And so, we pray the real estate market's hot when this happens.
Right.
So lack of liquidity, but being able to access mutual funds out of a retirement plan that's after 59 and a half,
matured, yeah.
You're certainly okay if that's where they are. So not a problem at all. Kevin is with us in Salt Lake City. Hi, Kevin. How are you?
Doing well. How are you?
Better than I deserve. How can I help?
So I'm in need of some advice. A neighbor of ours, okay, it's a little background. My wife and I and our 3 boys have been renting a basement apartment for the last 5 years. In that time, my income's gone from below $30,000 to right now I'm $60,000.
Good.
Right.
So our neighbors offered to sell us their house. They're going to move, but it's way out of our price range. But I think they want to sell it for like $5,000 or $500,000, and
it's way out of your price range.
Yeah. What's that?
You can afford a $500,000 house with $60,000 income, dude.
Yeah, and that's so. My main question is like, and maybe it's like get some encouragement question, or maybe a different viewpoint question, because we're just looking at like all the houses in our area, and we have really good rent right now. I mean, we don't want to leave our current rent situation very quickly, because it's just, we're paying like only $1,000 a month in rent. That's a good situation. So every house in our neighborhood and in the county seems to be in that kind of price range on average, like $500,000 or
no,
up there. It's
not true.
You don't think so?
No. The median house price in Salt Lake City is not $500,000. Nope.
Yeah.
About three and a quarter. About $3 1/4.
$3 1/4.
Yeah, you can go look it up. That's the median house price. Yeah. So.
Or maybe in the tiny corner of the county.
Here's the thing. I don't care where you live, Salt Lake City or California or Manhattan. You don't get a pass on math. Math still works in those areas. So you still got to buy something on a 15-year fixed where the payment is no more than a fourth of your take-home pay, after you're debt-free, and after you have your emergency fund in place. Dude, you're not ready to buy this house next door. I'm sorry. Keep renting. This is The Ramsey Show. Look, I love real estate, and I want you to have a house, but I don't want a house to have you. That's why you need to get in touch with Churchill Mortgage to make sure you do this right. These guys are awesome. They'll help you get on a smarter mortgage plan because they're committed to doing what's right for you. That means they check in every year with free consultations to help you stay on the right plan. They show you how to save money and interest so you can build wealth faster. They walk you through the total cost of your loan so you can make the best choice. Basically, they care. That's why we call them Ramsey Trusted. You can achieve debt-free home ownership, and Churchill is here to help. Go to their site, churchillmortgage.com/Ramsey, to start your approval or get more information. Dr. John Deloney, Ramsey personality. Open phones at 888-825-5225. We'll talk to you about your life and your money. Thank you for joining us. We'll talk to you about how to create amazing relationships. We'll talk to you about doing work you love. It's a free call here at the Ramsey Show. Thank you for joining us. Ellie's with us in Kansas City. Hi, Ellie. Welcome to the Ramsey Show.
Hi. Thanks for having me.
Good. How can we help?
Okay, so my husband and I have a stream of income that I'm not really sure how to handle. We have 2 foster kids that we foster outside of the foster care system. It was a kinship foster, and their grandparents essentially pay us to do so, which isn't why we are doing it, but so we have this flow of money coming in, and I just am not really sure how to handle it.
It's part of your income.
Okay, so should I...
When you do your budget,
right
you
now,
have your income at the top of the page, and you give every dollar of your income a name.
Okay,
it's
so
as if you had a part-time job.
Okay, that's what I was going to ask. So I should. So it'd be like I'm self-employed, so I would want to like pay taxes on it, like quarterly and stuff.
Yeah. If you're going to claim it as income, they're going to claim it as an expense. Then yeah, you would need to set aside a fourth of it as taxes, and then you put the rest of it in your budget, and you work it. Period. It's not different money because it's for the kids, because you're going to pay for the kids' stuff anyway, and what you do to feed the kids or clothe the kids or whatever expenses you have associated with the kids during the time you're fostering them is you're going to do regardless of the money. You'll do it if it's more money than you get. You'll do it if it's less money than you get. You're going to do it. You're going to pay the light bill because they stay in the house. You're going to pay the food bill because they stay in the house. You're going to pay the water bill because they stay in the house. So you don't. Child support's the same way. It's not wholly. It isn't set to the side and separate. It's for supporting the child. And by the way, you almost always spend more on kids than you receive in a situation like this.
Ellie, are y'all designated guardians of these kids?
Right now, we have temporary custody, and we're actually in the process of adoption.
Okay, all right, good. My fear is these off-book deals with kids can get real messy real fast.
Yeah.
And so good for you. That makes me happy that y'all going through the official process there.
Yes, we are. And so, I mean, the grandparents want to still be involved and provide, but that's how they feel they can because they can't physically care for them, so they want to provide that way.
Love it.
So it should go. We have a separate account for them. Should it just go straight into everything else?
Yeah, I wouldn't have a separate account. There's no need.
Yeah.
If you had your own, if they were your own children, you wouldn't have a separate account. You would just make sure they had food and clothing and shelter.
Right. I just wasn't sure if it was like if it should be taxable or not taxable because it's.
You'd have to ask. I don't know if this is a gift to you or if this is an income to you, as far as taxes go.
Yeah, because it feels weird being paid to do this because we aren't doing it.
How much are they giving you?
They're giving us $750 twice a month. Because I think that matches what the stipend that you would get in the foster care system that the government gives, I think. So, yeah, $1,500 a month.
Okay. They are going to have a gift tax on it if they consider that a gift.
Are they? Okay. Do you know if they're? Okay. Yeah. Are they writing this off their taxes? Or are they doing this just out of the kindness of their heart?
As far as I know, they are not.
Okay.
Okay. Well, an individual can give another individual $15,000 this year. Okay.
Okay.
$16,000. I'm sorry, in 2022, and that's $18,000. $1,500 is $18,000. So, if they don't report it, it's probably never going to come up. But technically, if they got audited, they could pay gift tax on $2,000. If this is a gift, if it is a gift to you, so I could just give you some money. I could give you $10,000. Okay, and there's no gift tax on that, and there's no income tax on that. If, however, I'm paying you for a service, then that's an income that you would pay income tax on. And so I think we need to have a determination here that, made by you and by them, that this is not payment, that this is a gift.
You probably want to get that in writing.
Okay, and then that would be figured out.
We are giving you a gift because you're being so kind to our children.
They're not paying you for child care services.
Yeah, if they're paying you, then it becomes taxable. If they're giving it to you as a gift, it's not taxable. So I would probably get a letter from them stating that this is a gift. And then I would not pay taxes on it. But as far as I would not pay taxes on it. Because I think that's really what it is. I think that's the spirit of the thing.
Right. So do you know if that letter has to come with every
No, it needs to come once. It needs to come once a year.
Yeah.
And hopefully it's only going to come once because you're going to get the adoption done.
Right.
And if you adopt these kids, are they still planning on giving you that gift?
I think so because I think they still want to contribute because
sure.
But if your grandparents if I give my grandkids, if I give my kids $10,000 for my grandkids, it's not taxable. That's a gift. And if you've adopted these kids, that's the grandparents giving money to their parents, right?
Oh, okay, so
it's not
before
taxable.
The adoption is finalized.
Before it's fine. I would want a gift letter from them. And since they're not blood relatives, I'd want a couple of gift letters from them. And you can check with a tax professional on exactly what the wording would need to be. But just we're going to give you a gift of, and honestly, I would reduce it to $16,000 a year.
Just make it easy for everybody,
so that so they don't get caught later with a gift tax. I don't want them to get hammered. It's that simple, but I wouldn't mess with it. So, but it's up to y'all what you want to do. But I'm just trying to keep everything real clean. I don't want the IRS in your life later because everyone here is doing such a noble thing. You're taking care of some kids whose parents went AWOL. The grandparents are taking care of kids that they love but are not physically able. And by helping you take care of those kids, everybody in the story is a hero.
I also don't want
the last thing I want is the IRS getting involved in a hero.
Well, I don't want some weird cousin or brother and sister or child of these great grandparents circling up and saying, hey, for the last 15 years, they've given you all this, and that was our money. I'd want some sort of writing down here.
Yeah, wouldn't hurt.
I just think that's smart.
And they're allowed to do, but listen.
They can do what they want. It's their money.
There's not anything that can be done about it legally, honestly. But it's just to be a good thing. It'd be a good thing for everybody to have communication. Just, hey, write me a letter that says this is a gift to the children. And if I were you, advise them. Tell them you talk to a financial person that advises that they limit it to $16,000 a year. And so, because as you said, you would do it either way. Or if you want to get really technical about it and nuanced, write $4 of the $750 checks to one of you or your husband, and write the rest of them to the other one. And because they're allowed to give you $16,000, give your husband $2,000, and then you still got the whole $18,000 there. So you get real technical. That's another way to do it. But if they're writing the check to both of you, they're going to go over at $18,000. So all that to say, anyway, that's what we're doing. All right. Yeah, it's a wonderful story, though.
It just makes me think, man, have we made it too complicated just to help each other out?
Yes.
It's so absurd, man.
Yes, we have. It's called the IRS. It's called Congress.
You got a messy
situation. They're scared to death that we're not going to need them.
It's so strange.
They're scared to death that they're not going to be relevant. They're the island of misfit toys, but they're not, and they're not relevant. But they're scared to death, and so they keep passing laws. And the volumes of regulations that you have to know.
We have two grandparents here that just want to bless their kids, and they physically can't care for these kids, but they love this adoptive family.
These foster parents are coming in and taking care of them, and everybody's good. Everybody's a hero in this story. And yet we have to figure out some stupid little side angle.
Gymnastics trick.
That's the world we live in. If I had somebody working for me like people in Congress, I'd say, you're fired. This is the Ramsey Show. Dr. John Deloney, Ramsey Personality, is my co-host today. Nick and Connor are with us in Lubbock, Texas. Says on my screen, you guys are debt-free. Congratulations.
Thank you. How are y'all?
Better than we deserve. How much have you paid off?
Paid off $126,000.
Way to go. How long did this take?
Just over 5 years.
Cool. And your range of income during that time?
We started off around 33, and last year we ended up with 73.
Whoa! What do y'all do for a living?
I am a landscape crew leader.
And I am currently a stay-at-home mom, but I've had a couple of jobs in between there. I worked as a CNA, and then I worked as a research aide and a lab tech. So
very cool. What kind of debt was the $126,000?
Everything.
We had student loans, we had car loans, we had a loan for a bed, we had store credit cards, I had a dirt bike loan, so...
Y'all are freaking normal.
Yeah.
Yeah.
How old are you guys?
I am 34.
And 29.
Okay. And so you were 24 and 29 when you started this journey. What was the wake-up call, and what started you on this journey?
Well, we had, I was in school. I'm actually an LCU grad.
Yeah,
and,
dude.
Oh, yeah. John, you were my dean of students my first stint in school.
No, I wasn't. Was I really?
Yeah, 2005.
Oh, and look, that's fantastic, man.
And he turned out, John. He turned out.
You made it, Nick. Way to go, man. You made it.
Yep.
We're both actually LCU grads.
Well, that's fantastic. Very cool.
Yeah.
But
so
we
left you a legacy of things to pay off, too.
Yeah, no kidding.
Yeah, no kidding. So we had 2 vehicles that both needed significant repairs, and we couldn't afford to repair them. But we could afford the new payment. And then we actually paymented ourselves out of being able to pay rent and moved into a free rent house that my parents own. And then shortly after that, we were sitting at a church that we used to go to, and they gave a presentation basically advertising for the FPU class that next year, and showed that a group of people paid off it was something ridiculous, like $2 million paid off in debt in that year.
Yeah, it was like their 9 weeks or whatever, the groups that they had done, they'd paid off so much money, and we looked at each other and we're like, okay, we really need to get into this because we're drowning.
Yep.
Good.
And
Cool.
So we took that class and then ended up moving churches, and we became coordinators, and the rest is history.
Wow. So John's been your dean of students. I've been your dean of students. I mean, this is pretty. This is
They
pretty
clearly
amazing.
listen to you more than they listen to me, but that's
Well, I got them in no debt.
That's exactly right. Hey, so what was the best marriage spat y'all had?
We were talking about that last night, and really the hard part for us was just doing the actual paper budget. We never really had any hard spats. It was just making the numbers work when we had to adjust categories and, using calculators to get everything to total up properly, and we just get frustrated.
And it's hard being a crew leader out there, rolling up in a used car that needs some repairs and not some fancy new truck that you can go get off a lot, right? I mean, you've had people looking at you funny for the last few years.
Well, I work for a company that actually provides a work vehicle. and
Oh,
also
well
personal.
played. That's great.
And so we actually sold both the vehicles that we had loans on, and so they're done. We actually have we bought a used minivan a couple years ago, paid in cash.
That's how you know you're in it, brother, when you buy a used minivan. You're in.
A 2004 model.
Yeah.
Hey, there you go.
But it was in great condition when we got it. So.
I love it. Way to go. Yeah, that's good. That's good. You might be an FPU if your van's older than your wife. Yeah. That's good, guys. I like it. Very well done. This is good. Congratulations. Because, on $33,000 a year, you start this journey. That's serious.
Yes, sir.
And you bust through 126. You sell the cars off. You keep raising your income.
Double your
keep
income.
scratching and
Yeah.
clawing. Keep scratching and clawing and hustle and grind. And you push your way all the way through for 5 freaking years. This is hero stuff right here. You guys are incredible. Thank you for being coordinators.
Yes, sir. Well, and the caveat to the 5 years is we actually only did active debt payoff in about 22 months.
Yeah.
We had 2 kids along the way. We cash flowed the last semester of my wife's college, and then we saved up for nursing school. And
wow.
That didn't end up coming through, and so we used that money that we had saved for nursing school to put a big bump on the student loans, and then we had a small inheritance that helped us get over the finish line.
Wow.
Yep.
Way to go, guys.
You guys are awesome.
Way to go.
Thank you.
Good journey.
Representing the 806 and the Shaps. Way to go, man.
Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah.
Good job. All right, now you're a coordinator. You stuck with it. You pushed all the way through. You're a young family, 100% debt-free. When someone comes into your class and says, what do you have to do? What's the secret to getting out of debt? What do you tell them?
Communication, for sure. You just have to communicate everything. And budget. Obviously you can't do this without a budget, but we had a lot of conversations last night, but one of the things that we said was, communicating. we figured out last night how horrible at communicating we were before we started doing FPU. And just since finishing everything, our communication is so much better.
Yeah.
And then I've got to say, just perseverance and grit, because this has been a very long journey. There have been multiple nights doing budget meetings where both of us would be tired of it, usually at separate times, but then we would pull each other through. And it was hard.
Yeah. Well, I'm proud of you guys. Very well done. You're heroes. We've got a copy of Baby Steps Millionaires for you, How Ordinary People Built Extraordinary Wealth, how you can too. And since you're been under the tutelage of Dr. John Deloney, we're going to send you a copy of his brand new book, Own Your Past, Change Your Future, as well. So you're going to get one from each of us, and predicting that his will be a bestseller by this time next week when we get the lists out and we find out what happened with it. But I'm sure it'll be a bestseller of some sort. We'll see.
Proud of you guys, Nick and Connor. Way to go.
Way to go, you guys. Very well done. Nick and Connor, Lubbock, Texas, $126,000 paid off in 5 years, making 33 to 73. Count it down. Let's hear a debt-free scream.
3, 2, 1. We're debt-free!
Yeah!
That scream was 5 years of doing yard work in the heat in West Texas and saying, I'm done with this.
Yeah, in West Texas, that's real heat.
It's a lot of dust.
That's a lot of dirt.
Hey, there's something about starting this process making $33,000 as a combined household income. That's grit, man.
Yeah. I mean, that's real. That's half the national average.
That's $33,000. That's tough, man. And that's saying, I know we got a $126,000 problem here. We got to start somewhere. Let's start here.
Mm-hmm.
Like, what better time than
Game on. Game on. It's not like you can see it and go, oh, this is going to be easy.
No, yeah.
We'll be able to do this in about 8 months.
That's a big hole in the little
that
bitty
shovel to hole ratio right there sucks.
Yep.
I mean, that was a little bitty shovel, a great big hole.
That's right.
And they kept pushing through, and that's real. And then during the time, overdoubles his income, household income.
How often? I feel like that happens every time. People get intentional, and then they get maniacal, and then all of a sudden, their workplace recognizes that they're showing up more and putting more in, and they're more passionate and more driven, and all of a sudden, man.
It just tells you that we don't use all of our brain and we don't use all of our income earning potential.
Yeah.
Until there's a reason.
Yep.
And then we go, I need some more money.
Yeah.
And you go get some more money. And it's just an amazing thing. I mean, it's like we go work extra. We take a better job. You look up and go, these people don't pay me enough, and you get a better job. And there's all kinds of things happen. But almost every debt-free scream, the income went up during the debt-free journey.
Yeah.
And for multitude of different reasons, but it generally does. You're exactly right.
Love it.
That puts this hour of the Ramsey Show in the books. Thanks to the folks in the booth. James, Ben, Kelly doing a great job in there. Zach, this is the Ramsey Show. Dave here. You can find all of our shows with the Ramsey Network app on your smartphone. It's the only place to listen to the entire back catalog of episodes. Download the Ramsey Network app in your favorite app store today. This is The Ramsey Show. You can be intentional about your character. You can have money and a career. You are the hero in your story. Live from the headquarters of Ramsey Solutions, it's The Ramsey Show, where debt is dumb, cash is king, and the paid-off home mortgage has taken the place of the BMW as the status symbol of choice. I'm Dave Ramsey, your host. Dr. John Deloney, Ramsey personality, best-selling author, host of the Dr. John Deloney Show, is my co-host today. Today is launch day for his brand new best-selling book, Own Your Past, Change Your Future, a not-so-complicated approach to relationships, mental health, and mental wellness. We are, of course, taking calls on any of those subjects, as well as people wanting to talk about doing work that they love, or how to get wealth built, or generosity, money questions. We're here to help you. The phone number is 888-825-5225. Starting this hour is Charlie in Dallas. Hi, Charlie. Welcome to the Ramsey Show.
Hey, Dave. Thank you for taking my call. And
Sure.
Dr. John, good luck on your book launch.
Thank you, good man.
Thank you. So I've been listening to you on and off for a few years, and I finally realized I cannot out-earn my spending, and I really want to reduce risk while income is good, and I want to do it fast, and I think I finally understand the gazelle intensity feeling. But I'm afraid my wife isn't quite feeling the same way. I've kind of come up with a plan, and she's not 100% behind it.
What's your plan?
We owe $35,000 in back taxes from as far back as 2015. I owe $14,700 this year. We owe $12,000 on both of our cars, $12,000 each, and I want to basically sell my car and throw everything we have at the taxes. And I think that we can be done actually in the next 3 to 4 months.
How did you tell her this plan?
Well, we started about January is when I really got serious, and I kind of just
take me and Dave back to the, like, you sat down. How did you announce this plan?
I've been asking her multiple times to kind of sit down with me and help me figure out how to create more room in the budget. And then finally we did that, and she got behind it. And I finally kind of encouraged her. I was like, I think you have some really good ideas usually when it comes to saving money, and you're really helpful in all these ways. And I think that if we can just get on the same page, basically listening to you guys, that one, I think our relationship will get a lot better. I think that we'll really make some headway here. I tried to tell her that I really needed her help, and from my understanding, or the way I feel, is I feel like she's just a little bit worried, and I don't know if it has to do with past family stuff with her family and money, or
how long y'all been married?
With money, 7 years almost.
How many jobs have you had while you were married?
This one.
How many different plans have you come up with while you were married?
Well, and that is to be fair, and it's never been to pay off the debt. It's just been, we make enough money. We can do this. We can do that.
Because I have a new idea every 20 minutes, and my wife is always like, "You're scheming and scamming again," and it sounds like you were getting that speech.
Yes. Have you tried? Have you tried this conversation? Because you came at your wife with a math problem, and you came with her at her with an algorithm. If we do this and this and this, then here's the result. Everything's great. And she's heard that before. Another way to have this conversation is to sit down one night over a meal and hold her hands and say, I am terrified. We're not safe. And I feel scared.
We owe the freaking KGB $35,000.
$35,000. We have two cars that we can't afford. We have a house that we can't afford.
We're not getting traction.
Terrified.
We're not getting traction. I'm afraid we're going to be old and living on social insecurity.
If it's even there. Yeah. That's a different conversation than, well, honey, cue up the carnival music. I got a new one, right? That's a totally different conversation.
And I have been very excited about this.
Yes. Hey, you're talking to two guys who get excited for a living. I mean, that's us too.
It's a good thing. But what it amounts to is you have a set of information that has informed your emotions that there's hope. She doesn't have that information yet, and her hope button has not been pushed yet because you've got a head start on her. You've been listening to the show. You've been listening to other people do debt-free screams. You've got a legitimate information that has you in a different place than that. And so, I run into that sometimes here in the business and leadership. Sometimes somebody will come in and sit down and they go, okay, here's what we're going to do. And this person here, they're not going to make it. We're going to have to let them go. And I'm like, whoa, stop the train, Junior. You got to catch me up. You've been working on this for a month. You gave me 35 seconds. So you got to spend a minute here catching me up. to where I can join you in this, or I'm about to put a quash on your idea. And so I play the wife in that case in your world. But because I don't have the same set of information or emotions that they do from having dealt with this person goofing off or whatever they've been doing inside the business here that they're trying to lead. And so if they catch me up with those emotions, I might get on board or I might have another idea. But we got to get her, so it's, number one, we got to get her caught up and just go, I think it's a real good thing to go, listen, I don't have all this figured out, and I'm a wee bit excited about this because for the first time I got some hope, and I was previously terrified, and I'm afraid if we don't do something that is way different than what we've been doing, we're going to keep doing what we've been doing, and that's not going to work.
And here's another, number two. I've thrown a lot of hacks at you over the last few years, a lot of schemes and ways to cut corners. My plans don't work. I found a guy's plan that does work for millions of people. Would you be willing to do his plan with me?
Or would you be willing to look at that plan in detail with me and see what you think of it? That'd be okay, too. And
You're coming at her with humility.
Let her get caught up with that. Because... at least you didn't say, I'm going to sell your car.
Yeah.
I knew that wasn't an option.
Yeah, but you were gently. Hey, you were close, though, because you were like, you got great ideas. You would really look good in a uniform if you were out working. You got close, man.
If you were a nurse, you would be making some money.
See? She'll get there. She'll get there when she looks in the eyes of a man who says, okay, I've had all the plans in the world. I've tried. And this is me taking a knee and saying, my schemes didn't work.
But I think this will work, and it's not my plan.
It's not my plan.
And I'm excited about it. And would you look at it with me?
We do it with me. That's right.
And I'll tell you what, we're going to help you with this. Would you go through a couple of these? Would you look through a couple of these videos with me? We're going to put you into Ramsey Plus as a gift. And that'll put you into Financial Peace University and give you access to the Every Dollar Plus budgeting system, the premium system. And it's all very easy when you do that. But it's kind of like you hear some of these debt-free screams, and you're like, how'd you get your spouse on board? Well, we drove to Florida and had to listen to your podcast all the way to Florida.
Right.
And so it's like, after that, they were on board. Who knew? It's like, I'm trapped in the dadgum car.
But it's they were listening to Dave and these other callers, not you and one of your schemes again, right?
Yeah.
And just hearing it from somebody else.
Pull up some debt-free screams on YouTube and watch them together.
Watch their body language, yeah.
Watch those people's... Watch how light they feel, how the position of their shoulders is different. So beautiful. So beautiful. It's called hope. And it's real. It's very real. This is the Ramsey Show. Chaos. That's what it can feel like when your business is growing so fast you've outgrown your financial and accounting software. The faster you grow, the more likely you are to lose control of the numbers. And here's the reality. If you don't know your numbers, you don't know your business. That's why we use NetSuite by Oracle, the #1 cloud financial system. Over 28,000 companies use NetSuite by Oracle, including Ramsey Solutions, because NetSuite gives us a single view of everything we need to make daily decisions. Whether you're making a few million to hundreds of millions a year, NetSuite gives you the visibility and control of the things you need to grow, like your financials, inventory, HR, planning, budgeting, and more, all in one dashboard. Go to netsuite.com/Ramsey right now to get their free white paper. Jumpstart your CFO career. Well, we heard recently that the pause on the student loans has been extended again. Why don't they just extend it indefinitely? That'd be interesting. No, they're not going to do that. They're going to extend it until the midterm elections.
That's exactly. Either the midterm or right at the beginning of the 4-year.
Yeah,
they're going to use it.
This is no longer about economics. This is now about politics.
Total politics.
Yeah. Student loans shouldn't be a crushing weight in your life. You can be rid of them with the right plan. It's a perfect time to work on your student loans since they're not causing payments and interest. You can really crush the principal. This is not the time to ignore it just because they told you to. Instead, you should go after it with everything you got right now and get rid of the student loan. Use this wonderful respite from the interest to get some freaking traction. Good time to get into Financial Peace University. Good time to do this. This course will teach you our proven plan to pay off your student loans and all your debt within just a few months or a couple years, not decades. Millions of people with every type of income, every amount of student loans have done it with Financial Peace University. You can. And when you don't owe anything to anyone, you will never feel that weight hanging over you again. You don't even realize how much you're carrying until you're not carrying it anymore. Start Financial Peace University for free at RamseySolutions.com/FPU. That's RamseySolutions.com/FPU. Financial Peace University. Almost 10 million people have gone through that class now. It has changed a lot of lives. The information there, God's and Grandma's ways of handling money. It'll rock your world. Check it out at RamseySolutions.com. Kelly is with us. Kelly is in Phoenix, Arizona. Hi, Kelly. Welcome to the Ramsey Show.
Hello.
Hey, what's up?
I got a question for you in regards to 401k that my employer offers, and it is a Roth 401k. So the question is, my tax guy this year told me that I don't qualify for the Roth part because I make over $75,000 a year.
Not true.
So
your tax guy doesn't know what he's doing. You don't qualify for a Roth IRA, individual IRA, if you make too much money, but the Roth 401k is available regardless of income. I do one.
Me too.
And we both make way more than those limits.
So it'd be better to keep it as a Roth versus a traditional 401k.
You bet. Grows tax-free. Tax-free is better than with taxes.
Right.
Make sense?
Well, I always thought the Roth, grew. You paid the taxes on what you put in, and you didn't so much on what you get out. But he explained that you put in it comes off your income.
Let me just tell you, you're going to put into your 401k the same amount, whether it's a Roth or a traditional, aren't you?
Correct.
Okay. So you went ahead and paid the taxes on the portion you put in if it's in a Roth. And let me tell you, how old are you?
36.
Okay. When you are 66, 94% of what is in your account will be growth. 6% will be what you put in. Almost all of it is growth when you get to the end game, and you don't want the growth to be taxed.
Or the best way I could tell you to explain
if there's $4 million in your account, $2 million in your account, almost all of that is taxable or not, depending on whether you chose Roth. This is really not a hard math problem. You simply do not want to pay taxes on it, dude.
Well, I can think of no better endorsement in that this is what we do with our money.
Yeah.
Like, this isn't a math problem.
I'm 61, and it's a Roth. Because I probably will never touch it.
Yeah.
It'll probably be left in an inheritance. I'll probably live out of other money. And I'll just let it continue to grow tax-free until old Dave pushes up a daisy. I mean, that's just let the puppy grow. And so if I'm 91, 30 years from now, I get tax-free growth all that time. And I don't have RMD. I don't have required minimum distributions when I'm 70 and a half. So you just don't want to do this, dude. You can do whatever you want to do.
And get a new tax guy.
You do whatever you want to. But if your tax guy is telling you can't do a Roth 401k, you need a new tax guy. He doesn't know what he's talking about. Eddie's in Philadelphia. Hey, Eddie, welcome to the Ramsey Show.
Hey, Dave, Dr. John. Honor to speak with you guys.
You too. What's up?
So my question to you is, I'm getting married in about a month and a half, and my fiance just started a very expensive master's degree program, but she also wants to be a stay-at-home mom. And I'm not sure how to handle this.
Well, why are you waiting till a month and a half before marriage to address something this serious?
Well, we have been addressing this.
No, we haven't.
It sounds like she has. You haven't.
Well, we've both. This has definitely been a point of, I guess you could say, contention since we. We've been together for 6 years. So this master's program started 2 months ago, and we have had extensive conversations about it. But I didn't really want to be the person to hold her back from doing it, especially before we were even engaged. So I kept my opinion to a minimum because I didn't want to be that person who held her back from her dreams. But some
let me just tell you, if the person you love's dream is really a nightmare, you should say something.
I completely agree. And we have had several conversations with my parents and her parents about the situation, and we're just not really getting anywhere.
What's the program?
It's a master's in nutrition degree.
Okay. And what in her heart says
why
this
is it
is something
expensive?
she wants to do?
Well, there were two questions there. Yeah. I'm not really sure why it's so expensive, but it costs about $60,000 just for the tuition after her scholarships.
Mm-hmm.
And it's
it's expensive because people will pay it. But go ahead.
Right. Yeah, it's definitely one of the more expensive institutions in the city. And yeah, that's kind of where we're
at. Why does she need this? Why does she want to do this?
Well, the way she was raised, there's always been high value on education and getting that next degree. There are a lot of different reasons why, but she obviously doesn't want to let her parents down. She feels like she's a very smart girl, which she is. Mm-hmm. And this will kind of be like a status elevation thing. And it's a topic that is just very interesting for her.
Yeah.
Those are her reasons for wanting to.
So are y'all taking out loans for this thing? Are y'all paying for it in cash?
So not yet. That's kind of where the contentions come into play, because I've sat down with her and tried to map out a plan of, okay, who's paying for this? Are your parents going to help? And am I kind of footing the bill for the whole thing? And unfortunately, her parents recently had a split, a divorce like 2 months ago. So the aid from that side is now kind of in a gray area. We're not really sure if they're going to help, but I don't really want to be put in a situation where I just get hit with a bill.
All right, so there's two. Dave, and hop in here. There's two big issues here. Okay, issue number one is you're about to marry somebody, and y'all have not been able to have very basic, low-level conflict agreement conversations. I cannot think of a bigger red flag other than she's dating somebody else. Because this will be a conversation about what home we buy, what neighborhood, what schools, what kid. This will go. You'll have this conversation 1,000 times. It just happens to be over a degree plan. And I personally, and again, Dave may disagree. It's great. If you have cash for this and you want to get a master's degree to learn about nutrition, knock your lights out. If you can pay for it, it's going to be a joint decision of something we're going to do together, and I'm going to use the nutrition info for the kids. Great. If it's for a status symbol, then you might as well be buying a Porsche that you can't afford, and you don't know how anybody's going to pay for it, right? The whole thing feels gross, and then you don't know who's going to pay for it. This whole thing's a mess, man.
And the fact that you guys had to discuss it with both your parents is weird, too.
Yeah, you're about to get married. You're grown-ups.
Well, we're not married yet, and
you're about to be.
Out. Yeah.
You're about to be. You're way down too close to the altar to be having this discussion this late and not be in agreement on it. You guys need to sit down with an emergency session with a marriage counselor today.
Today.
This is like stop the wedding type stuff.
This is about communication, less about the degree.
It's not about the degree. It's not about disagree with the stupidity of the degree, which I do, but that's a side issue.
Yeah.
The issue is that you guys do not know how to have a discussion without you ruining her dreams. Let me just tell you, after 40 years, Sharon Ramsey has no trouble ruining my dreams.
Thank God, right?
If she thinks that they're a nightmare.
Right.
She has no trouble calling stupid butt ideas because she doesn't want to go down with me next time I go do something. Dr. John Deloney, Ramsey Personality, is my co-host today. His brand new book on sale today. Own your past, change your future, a not-so-complicated approach to relationships, mental health, and wellness in the lobby of Ramsey Solutions on the debt-free stage. Glenn is with us. Hey, Glenn, how are you, man?
Hi, I'm good. How are you?
Better than I deserve.
Nervous.
Welcome. Where do you live, sir?
Cherry Hill, New Jersey.
All right, cool. Welcome to Nashville.
Thank you.
And all the way here to do a debt-free scream.
That's right. I've been waiting for this day for the last 2 years.
Well, we're honored to have you, sir. How much did you pay off?
$182,272.
Whoa! And how long did that take you, sir?
19 months.
Whoa! What? And your range of income during that time?
I started at $135,000, and I'm currently at $220,000.
Well, there's a nice jump. What do you do for a living?
I'm a video producer for a company in California.
Okay. And you went just crazy? How'd you double your income, man?
I have a great manager who fights for me and my teammates, and I got 2 great pay raises, the second one being a promotion.
Wow. Good for you.
Congrats.
And also, obviously, side hustles. And
yeah, you're obviously good at what you do, and you work your butt off, too, huh?
I did. I do.
Good for you, man. So what kind of debt was the $182,000?
Oh, God. $9,000 was on a credit card.
Mm-hmm.
$17,000 was on a stupid butt car, as you would say. The dumbest decision I've ever.
What was it?
It was like, oh my God, I'm so embarrassed. It was a Chevrolet Camaro. Don't laugh.
Oh, it's wonderful.
It's awful.
It's a wonderful car to get messed up in. Yeah.
Chevy. It's a car for high school tight ends. Go ahead.
Yeah. And then the rest, just over $150,000 of student loans, so $58,000 on federal loans, and just under $100,000 with Navient.
Whoa. You got rid of the evil Navient.
Oh, evil.
Man. 19 months, man. I mean,
sir.
you have lived on nothing and worked all the time.
Yes.
You've been like completely game on here.
Yes. Laser focus intensity.
These numbers are amazing. You really have been on beans and rice. I'm so proud of you, man. What got you so freaking fired up?
Beans, rice, and ramen, I have to say. I love ramen.
Okay. All right. Well, ramen loves you, man. This is good. This is good. So what got this whole thing started with you?
Yeah. From 2015 to 2020, I was living in California, pretty expensive state.
Mm-hmm.
And then this little thing called the pandemic happened. And in March of 2020, my company told everyone to work from home.
Mm-hmm.
And so I got scared that California would ban out of state travel, so I booked a flight out of California and to New Jersey, and then 2 weeks of work from home turned into a month, then it turned into 2, then 3, and eventually I'm still in New Jersey, and I just got cleared to work remotely. Luckily, I travel a lot for my work, so they justified my working from home. And from March to September, I was still sort of Dave Ramsey-ish. I wasn't paying rent anymore, and so I was like, oh, I had all this income. And then my younger brother, went on his own debt-free journey and became debt-free in September of 2020. And when he became debt-free, I said, oh my gosh, this is it. It's my turn. And so I became really intense starting September 2020. And the next month, I flew back to California. I moved out all of my stuff from my apartment that I was living in. And that stupid car, I sold it to CarMax gleefully. I sold it. It was the best feeling.
It had been sitting there.
It had been sitting there, yeah.
Oh.
And I was paying for it.
So you're using public transportation in Jersey?
I had no car. I still don't have a car. I've been sharing a car with my parents, and I've been biking to the gym. I really lived on nothing, and luckily I lived rent-free with my parents as well, so they've been great.
And you make $220,000 a year, so now you can go buy whatever you want to.
That's right.
I love it.
But I'm going to pay for it cash.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
I know, and I know you are. I know you're done. After this, you're definitely done for life, right?
When you're making $220,000 and you have to say, hey mom, can I borrow the car to go to the mall?
Yeah.
Then you know I'm never doing this again.
I wanted all my income to go to my debt, so I didn't have a car, so that meant no gas payment, no insurance payment. I had the privilege of living rent free. I lived bare bones.
Love it, man.
I followed your plan, and so from September to last March, I just worked my butt off, and not only did I work my main job, I worked side hustles. I had my mom's friends were ordering cakes for me. I baked in 2020. I made $3,000 baking. I door dashed in 2021. I did video editing side hustles. I put myself on Fiverr, Facebook Marketplace, Craigslist. My friends referred me to jobs, and that's how I made extra income as well on top of my regular job.
All the time.
All the time. Yeah.
So okay, now you're completely free. Way to go.
Thank you.
I'm so proud of you, man.
Thank you.
So what's the next step for you now that you're free? Get your own place now?
I'm gonna get my own place. Obviously, save 3 to 6 months of expenses. I'm still on the Baby Steps plan. I have the Financial Peace app, and I follow that religiously. So
I love it. Well, you're an incredible young man. How old are you?
33.
Wow. How's it feel to be free?
Oh my gosh. I've never been to prison, but I feel like it's like getting out of prison. That's what it feels like. And I've never had cancer, but I feel like it's like listening to your doctor say like, you're cancer free. Like it was like financial cancer. Like it was, yeah.
Wow.
Like, have you had the moment where the paycheck deposits and you don't have any other bills to pay? You keep it all?
Well, that technically happened on the 15th of this month, April, but I actually owed taxes.
Okay, there
so
you go.
April 30th will be my first one where I have literally no payments, and I get to keep all of it. So I'm so excited for that next Friday.
Yeah, wow.
That's so cool.
Good for you, man. Congratulations.
Thank you.
Very, very powerful. Very well done. Okay, your little brother did it, and that got you going. And he was doing Ramsey stuff, huh?
Yeah, he's an avid listener of yours.
Okay.
He was listening before I was.
Okay.
Yeah,
All right.
and
that
he paid off.
That got you turned on. And plus, if your little brother does it, that's kind of like calling you out,
dude.
right? I mean, it's like, yeah, game on. So you got to do it. You can't let a little brother beat you.
That's exactly right.
Yeah,
That's
he's younger
good.
than me, but I feel like I follow in his footsteps. Like, he got into weightlifting, then I got into weightlifting. He got into working out. We were both like chubby kids in high school, and he started lifting, then I started lifting. He got out of debt, then I got out of debt. Even though I'm older, I follow in his footsteps. So,
I love it.
yeah.
That's good. Good stuff, man. Well done, brother. Well done. So proud of you. Well, we've got a copy of Baby Steps Millionaires for you. How Ordinary People Built Extraordinary Wealth. How you can too. I think you're definitely going to be a millionaire. Not any question in my mind. And your parents got to be proud of you. Who were your biggest cheerleaders as you went along?
Definitely my parents. Every time I paid off a loan, I would show them my Navient app, like, hey, this loan's paid off, and I would show them my Financial Peace app. My brother Kevin and his fiance Melissa, and also my friends Nadia, Carissa, Katie, Susan.
Yeah.
Hey, what was a $150,000 degree in?
Oh my gosh, a useless communications degree and a film minor. I went to a very expensive private university.
Gotcha.
Okay.
I don't even want to say their name just because.
That's okay.
That's fair.
We don't want to advertise for them.
No.
That's okay.
That's right. That's right.
Yeah. Well done, Glenn. Good work, brother. So proud of you.
Incredible.
Good stuff, man. And all the way from Jersey to do your debt-free scream here in Tennessee. Very, very, very well done. Good stuff. As I said, we got a copy of those books for you. We'll get those out to you. Glenn from Cherry Hill, New Jersey. $182,000 paid off in 19 months. All he did was sell everything and have anything that cost him anything, he got rid of it. No more payments, no more insurance, no more tags, no more taxes.
Nothing.
No more nothing. And got rid of everything, making $135 all the way up to $220. Took every job he could get his hands on. That's gazelle intensity. Boys and girls, this is how it's done. Count it down. Let's hear a debt-free scream.
3, 2, 1. I'm debt free!
That's how it's done right there. I love it. Yes. Yes, 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 yes. Excellent job. Man. Powerful.
I do not want to get between that guy and a goal.
That's $20,137,000 paid off so far this year with debt-free screams alone.
It's a lot of lives changed, Dave.
Pretty incredible. So proud of all of you. You people out there are doing it, man. You're the heroes. We're so honored to walk with you.
It's a gift.
We're so honored to get to talk to you, to get to meet you. This is The Ramsey Show. Our scripture of the day, Ezra 10:4. Rise up, this matter is in your hands. We will support you, so take courage and do it. Babe Ruth said, yesterday's home runs don't win today's games. Our question of the day comes from Blinds.com. Find out for yourself why Blinds.com is the #1 online retailer of custom window coverings. Free samples, free shipping, and with the new promos they run every month, you'll save even more. Use the promo code Ramsey to get the best possible deal.
All right, today's question comes from Kristen in New York. I'm a 25-year-old college graduate and am employed full-time. I grew up in a very affluent family. During adolescence, it was great, but moving into adulthood, I've realized that everything I have is because of my parents and their generosity. My parents literally pay for everything: gas, food, clothes, phone, insurance. I have no idea how to manage my finances or grow my wealth. In the next year, I want to buy my own home and set myself up for a successful future. I want to be able to provide a future family with everything my parents provided to me. Where should I begin? It's a great question. I would tell you, you've already begun because you recognized it. The number of people who are 35 or 40 who haven't put this together yet is staggering. So good for you for even recognizing, whoa, I'm out on an island here and I don't even know how I got here. I love it.
Yeah, it's a little overstated. Everything you have is not because of your parents. You graduated from college and you're employed full-time. So the last batch of food that went in the refrigerator, you went to the grocery store and bought if you're employed full-time, unless you live with your mom.
Or unless they're just having things delivered or whatever.
Wow. Well, I would stop any income coming from your parents. You're 25.
Yeah.
You need to financially separate from them.
Would you?
If you haven't already, but I kind of sense she has. She just means that they set her up.
I think that I think she's probably still getting.
You think
some money.
they're still buying
Absolutely.
her gas?
Yeah. What would you think about
she
this?
says my parents literally pay for everything.
Yeah.
Still, I guess.
Yeah.
Oh, stop that. You're
what would
25.
you think about the conversation of sitting down with your mom or your dad, whoever runs the money, and saying, "Oh, it's time for me to start learning the lessons." Mm-hmm. What are the principles and the rules by which you steward and manage your money? Because I want to learn those. Mm-hmm. I wonder if that'd be a good gate. And I guess if the response is, "Don't worry about it, we're taking care of you," then you know that that's not going to be a good source of wisdom and information. But they might sit down and say, "I'd love to teach you." Mm-hmm. I don't know. Yeah, that's probably where I would start.
Yeah, I would do that. I'd jump into Financial Peace University, and I think you need a 90-day plan to be completely financially on your own. You're 25 and you're full-time employed.
Yeah. I love that idea, too. Like, start at the baby steps.
Yeah.
And you're going to be able to expedite them, but learn the principles.
Yeah, but go ahead and learn how to handle money. Learn how to do a budget. Learn how to pay your light bill. And, you know, you're being treated like you're 12.
Right.
Not like you're 25. And so in that sense, your mom and dad are a little off kilter.
I bet there's some heavy, not strings, I bet there are some ropes attached to these relationships.
It might be, or it might be they're just getting tremendous personal satisfaction out of providing everything without thinking about the harm that it is doing, because you haven't got any muscle tone.
I was about to say, if I lift all the weights for my son, then he never feels the pressure of the bar, which is fine, but he never grows any muscle either.
Yeah, so let's pretend that this is an absolute best case scenario and there are no ropes or strings attached, and your dad and mom are simply just very sweet and very generous people. And that's an absolute best case scenario. And they're not really drawing some kind of sick psychological income from doing all of this. Okay, that's an absolute best case scenario. They're just sweet, generous people. In which case, somebody in this equation, in this story, needs to wake up and go, you're an adult. Yeah. And that's going to be you.
So what she's done here.
And that's going to be you sitting down with mom and dad and going, guys, I'm going to go through this class, Financial Peace University. I'd love some input from you guys on how I can be as good as you are someday. And we need to develop a plan where I am financially sustaining myself. Mm-hmm. That we sever the ties and you quit giving money, you quit paying for anything. Because really within 90, if you got a reasonably good job, you should be able to pay your own freaking bills.
Oh, absolutely. And part of wealth management and legacy management is sitting down with mom and dad when you're 25 and you have your own job and you're all grown up, is saying, where are the wills and what happens when and where's the trust and who runs this stuff, and being able to learn. I've learned from you. You have some hard conversations with your kids and family.
Yeah, right? Yeah. But they're not. Well, Yeah, the good news is
they may not be there.
I don't know. I mean, this is just there's so much. This is so mushy and soft. In a bad way. There's no muscle tone.
Yeah,
it's everything's atrophying. So, yeah, Kristen, you got to call this off. It has to end, and you got to do it as gently and kindly and firmly as you can. You're not trying to be disrespectful. It's been a wonderful thing, and I'm very grateful for what all you've done. And well, you're just not grateful. No, I'm very grateful, but I'm also 25. I'm like grown and stuff. And stuff. So I'm going to start paying my own light bill, and surely to God, her electric bill is not in their name.
But maybe they bought her a house and they just went ahead and have their name on the deed of the house, and they pay the bills.
She may not be. She may be living with them.
Yeah.
No, I want to buy my own home. You may need to get an apartment. That's what your first step.
Yeah.
And learn to live on your own. Learn to buy your groceries, learn to pay your bills, learn to set the electric bill up on the draft on your checking account, learn to do these kinds of things, and, get all that done before you buy a home. I bet she's still living at home.
Yeah.
That's what's going on. So you need to make plans to move out, too.
Yep.
ASAP. As soon as possible, because fun things will happen to your psychological, emotional, spiritual development when you're on your own. I noticed that when our kids were no longer under our umbrella, that they walked different.
Absolutely.
There's a dignity to being your own person.
And you probably noticed they skinned their knees a few times and twisted an ankle. That's part of walking on your own, right?
Yeah, they blew a tire and they figured it out.
That's right.
I don't mind helping them, but they figured it out. And you're not 12.
That's right.
You're 25. It's a different thing. So it's good. It's a good discussion. So hey, thanks for writing.
This is the first reverse debt snowball I've heard. You need to take FPU so you can learn how to deal the money the other way.
Yeah, that's right. You learn how to handle all this money you got. Don't know what to do with it. Heather's in Los Angeles. Hi, Heather. Welcome to the Ramsey Show.
Hi, thank you for taking my call. I have to say this is an honor. I've listened to you since I was a teenager.
Wow. Thank you. How can we help?
Big deal for me. My husband and I are expecting and also looking to move out of state here in the next 6 months or so.
When is the baby due?
November, the beginning of November.
And you want to move right as the baby is due?
I know, we're crazy. We're looking to move maybe around September to Arizona, so hoping to miss the really hot part, but move and stuff before the baby comes.
And you're going to move in the third trimester. This is your first child, isn't it?
Yeah, I know.
And September's real hot in Phoenix.
Why?
I know.
Why the urgency?
Well, we live in Los Angeles, which I feel like speaks for itself. We want to get the heck out of Dodge, if I'm going to be completely honest.
Well, go now.
So,
yeah. What about in 30 days?
Well, my husband has not been approved to work remotely yet, and so that's part of what we're waiting for. Also, I'm a swim instructor, so we're hoping that I can crank out a bunch of swim lessons, make a ton of money, and then we can move after that. My hope is to be a stay-at-home mom if that's possible, but we want to buy a house, and so I'm looking for some insight as to whether or not you think now with the economy is going to be the right time. We would have 10% to put down, which is not
and
as
you're
much
debt-free?
as I'd like. Yes, we are on Baby Step 3B.
If you're buying a home financially and you're debt-free and you put down a reasonable down payment and your payment is no more than a fourth of your income on a 15-year fixed, that's okay. However, most people don't make really, really great decisions in their third trimester. And moving in your third trimester as a father of three sounds like a really dangerous idea. I might wait till January. Personally.
December.
Up to you. That puts this hour of the Ramsey Show in the books. We'll be back with you before you know it. In the meantime, remember, there's ultimately only one way to financial peace, and that's to walk daily with the Prince of Peace, Christ Jesus.
Hey, it's John Deloney, co-host of The Ramsey Show. Did you know over 18 million people listen to The Ramsey Show every week? A lot of those people listen on one of our 600-plus radio stations across the country. To find a station near you, go to RamseySolutions.com/show.